Hello viewers, now the dial is cast now. IRCC have now finally released the allocation of study permit for 8 provinces for the year 2024. Don't forget, in January they said there's going to be a cap on international students that are coming into Canada. Now they said also that they will be allocating the number of study permit they will be granting, they will be processing for each province, they would provide it, and now they've done that. That's what I will be dissecting. So I want you to hang out and stay tuned. Get a cup of water if you need one. So let's go through this journey together. Alright, for those of you that are actually familiar with what's going on in the immigration space this year, you've seen that this immigration minister, Mark Miller, the guy no degree. The guy is just changing so many things. In January 21 to be precise, he stated that international students that are coming in for bachelors, that are coming in for college in Canada, that there's going to be a cap on them. Actually, he didn't place a cap on those that are coming in for masters, those that are coming in for PhD, those that are coming in for their post-secondary. There's no cap on that. But other people, there is a cap on that. And also, down in January, he also stated that all these provinces, they should come up with a PAL that will be given to international students that are coming to their province. He gave them a deadline of March 31st, which I think virtually all the provinces, they've complied with that. So now the allocation is now being set now, and that's what I'll be going through with you today. So I'll be taking you to IRCC website where we can actually see for ourselves, and I'll come back and I will dissect what is the implication of this, especially for those of you that are outside Canada. What will be your next step? That's what I'll be telling you in this video today. Alright, so let's go to IRCC website where you and I can actually see for ourselves what this is all about. So possibly you can see for yourself on IRCC website. You can see now that this is what the plan is for the year 2024. So Alberta, the allocation from IRCC, from the federal government, from immigration, they are going to get 40,894. British Columbia, 83,000. Manitoba is going to get 15,233. New Brunswick is going to get 9,279. Newfoundland and Labrador is going to get 2,365. Northwest Territory is getting 333. Nova Scotia is getting 12,906. Ontario, which happens to be the largest province, and don't forget that this allocation is based on the province size, right? Ontario is getting 235,000 rather. Prince Edward Island is getting 2,004. Quebec is getting 72,716. Saskatchewan is getting 12,043. Yukon is not left out. Yukon, the allocation for the year is 417. So obviously, as you can see for yourself, that is the allocation for each provinces for the year 2024. So now on the flip side, let's look on the next slide. Well, let's look at what is the projected approval that each provinces will get. Don't forget that for the fact that you applied, for the fact that there's an allocation for each province, doesn't mean that it is that same study permit that will be processed and that will be granted. No, the approval rate is something in the range of 60% for each province. So let's look at what is the likely approval rate for each province. So on the next slide will be, you can see for yourself, Alberta is going to see out of the over 40,000, they will probably get an approval rate of 24,537. Northwest Territory from 333, they will get an approval of 200. Prince Edward Island from 2004, they are looking at approval of 1,202. Ontario, the largest province, from 235,000, the approval is projected to be 141,000. Saskatchewan, from the 12,043 that was allocated to them, the approval is likely to be 7,226. So now let's look at what's the percentage change. When you compare this figure with what is obtainable from last year, let's look at what is the percentage change. So the percentage change from last year, Alberta remained the same at 10%. New Brunswick is witnessing a negative of 10% from the study permit that was allocated, that was granted last year. Nova Scotia is going to see a 10% drop. Northwest Territory is seeing a significant increment of 49,000%. That's huge. And let's go to Ontario. Ontario is going to witness a 41% rather drop in the study permit to be granted to Ontario in the year 2024. That's not a good news, but that is what is the case. Alright, so talking of Ontario received the largest allocation based on their population size. So Ontario received the largest allocation of study permits of 235,000. It is Canada's most populous province, obviously, according to IRCC official list. It has 530 designated learning institutions. However, the province recently revealed that 96% of its allocation for the study permits will go to public and universities and also colleges. This means very little will go to private colleges in the province for international students. Other provinces also receive a large portion of the overall allocation after adjustment for population and approved study permits. As for British Columbia announced its allocation of 83,000 study permits as given to them by IRCC in March, with almost equal distribution between public and private institutions. Alberta, which is home to 11.67% of Canada's population, had its allocation capped at 10%, resulting in an overall study permit allocation of 40,894, as I earlier stated. Alright, so now let's look at what is the implication of this, because I don't want to bore you with a lot of statistics. So let's look at what does this imply. I mean, how can you fit in, especially for those of you that are outside Canada. It is so sad that, that there's a cap, and that implies that if you're coming for your bachelor's or you're coming for your college education in Canada, the caps affect you, except you're coming for your master's or PhD. So what I would advise you to do is that, first thing I will tell you is that you have to apply early. If you apply early, you might be fortunate, early to bed, early to rise, right? If you're among those that apply early, you might be getting an approval. It's not cast in stone, but I'm just saying you might be fortunate to get an approval. There might be leniency because they are just starting, they have not met their quota. They might be lenient with early applicants. That's why I want to say you might want to apply. And likewise, in addition to these two, you might also try as much as possible to spread your tentacles. Don't just look at Ontario alone, because Ontario is going to witness a 41% drop, just like I stated. So you might be looking at those territories that are seeing a plus, an increment in the allocation. You might be looking at Yukon, you might be looking at Northwest Territories, you might be looking at those places that has a positive percentage. So based on last year, compared to what they allocated to them this year. So you might be looking at those places. It's just for you to come and study, right? And once you're done with your education, you can leave the province and go to anywhere you want. The basic thing is you want to come into Canada. So those are the strategies you might be looking at. And also another thing you want to do is that you want to do your due diligence when you are submitting your application. If you know you can't do it by yourself, get a licensed immigration, get a licensed lawyer, let them do it for you. But if you can do it for yourself, obviously you can do that. Submit a nice application, put in all the required documents, keep your fingers crossed, and you might be among the fortunate ones. So those are the strategies, in addition to other things that you can actually read off for yourself online, that you can use, you can deploy in order for you to be among the fortunate one, among the 60% approval that study permits applicants will be witnessing in the year 2024. Once again, this cap only affects those that are coming in for bachelors, that are coming in for their college education. But if you are coming for your master's and PhD, you are not affected by this. You can actually go to the IRCC website. You can actually read more, research for yourself. Okay, viewers, I hope you actually understood the video that I brought for you today, solely on the allocation from IRCC for each provinces, for each territories, for the study permit that will be granted for the year 2024. It's a good news, and also on the flip side too, it doesn't really make sense for some people. But all you can do is just find a way that you can actually fit into this new system. It's a cap that is going to last for, I think, 2-3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Just find a way around it. Canada is just trying to augment its population, because it discovered that there are a lot of people in Canada that are pursuing fewer houses, fewer amenities. So the government is just trying to seek a balance in this area, and that's why they've decided to actually place this temporary cap. Okay, viewers, I hope you understood this video. Till I see you in my next video, please endeavor to like, share our video, and click on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, you'll be among the first to get it. For our returning viewers, we thank you so much, and we're not taking you for granted. Till I see you in my next video, I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. Don't forget, I'm just a YouTuber. I don't know much.